Let's take your quiz from last week. Some of these I'm going to go through really quickly. First one, 2 times the absolute value of x. First of all, you need to make sure you put it in correctly. Hit the table, copy the answers. 42024. The second one here, you need to be careful. That's x squared. And a lot of people got this wrong. So when you go and put this into Desmos, we need to know characteristics of what a squared is. That's a parabola. So we do 1 minus x, and then you hit this. So some people stopped here, and they would do a straight line, but they hit x squared, and it makes it an upside down parabola, like that. And you'll notice now that it's -3. And some people would, if you didn't square it, which when we square a -2, what happens is you have -2 times -2, which is a +4. So when we're writing this over here, it becomes 1 minus -2 squared. So we're just going back to some order of operations. And this becomes 1 minus 4. And that's how you get that -3. So -3, 0, 1, -3, 0, 1, 0, and then this one is also -3. Match it up. -2 goes to -5, so that's the first thing I'm looking for. That's -2, +5. So I eliminated one of them there. Then I'm also going to check 2, 3. 2, 3 is up here, so I eliminated that one. And 2, 3 is up here, so I eliminated that one. C. Linear or nonlinear? Remember, linear has the root word of line. Does this one make a line? When they go and numbers are repeating like that, in this case, if you graph this, it would be an upside down V. So, answer is no. In order for something to be linear, your slope has to be the exact same every time. So I'm going up by 3 every single time. And if we went back to this one here, you got to be careful because it goes up by a similar amount here. Okay. And then it doesn't in other spots. So your slopes would be different. And, you know, it might work on 2 of them, but it's not going to work necessarily on all of them. And then over here, I'm also going up by 2 every time. So my rise over run, okay, my slope, my change in y over change in x, however you want to do it, is 3 over 2. So this is linear. So some of you guys didn't answer the whole question. Tell whether the function is linear or not. So yes, it's linear, but some of you didn't say that. And also, some of you did not write the equation. 3/2 x, and then there's my y-intercept, plus 3. What's the graph of this one here? Put it into Desmos. It's going to shift down 5 spots. Right there it is. Which graph has a vertex of 2, -3? So now you just got to know where this point is. That point's right there. So it's not that one. That's -3, 2. And that's 2, +3. So, okay, I'll zoom in here. Some of you guys didn't answer all 4 of these questions. Or the other thing that we had to do, some of you messed up the definition, but look here. Vertex is a point over here. So vertex should be a point here. 0, -3, right there. What is my axis of symmetry? My axis of symmetry is not 0. Some of you wrote 0, so we're talking about mistakes people frequently make. That's a mistake that people frequently make. It's actually a line, and in this case, that line right here, that red line I just drew, is x equals 0. That's the line you can reflect it over. It's going to be the same on each side. So you have to include the x part. Now what is my domain? Remember, our domain is our possible x's, and our range is our possible y's. So if we look at my x's, they go on forever. So it's all real numbers. That's one way you could write it. Another way you could write it is to use some inequality signs. So you could do negative infinity less than or equal to your domain, which is less than or equal to positive infinity. What is my range? My y values cannot be below this line. You're never going to get a y down here. So my y has to be greater than or equal to -3. There is a way on there that you can do the greater than or equal to. It's usually in the function tab across the top. Notice here some of this interval notation, which I told you to look up. Remember, 3 includes it. And you can never identify what negative infinity is. So which one has a range that goes to a negative infinity? So remember, our range is our possible y values. So if we're going to go to negative infinity, it has to be upside down for starters. So I'm already down to these ones here. Right? And then I'm looking, because these ones go to positive infinity. And I'm looking ones that are less than or equal to 3. D is my answer. We really struggled on number 10, and there's going to be one like this on your quiz, so it's important you know how to do this. I think the wording might have thrown some of you off. It says, Kendall is throwing a ball back and forth with her friend Jasmine. The graph shows the distance in feet of the ball from Kendall. Okay, so this right here, so if I pick one like right here, after 8 seconds, the ball is 12 feet away from Kendall. So when it gets furthest away, this is where Jasmine is standing. Kind of Kendall's standing here. Right? Because when she's holding the ball should be 0 feet away from her. And some of you had that backwards. So it says, during what time interval is the distance from Kendall increasing? Right here is where we have our positive slope. And some of you would start like here or here. Really, it should be here. We'll do t for time. And then it goes all the way up to 12. What is the vertex of the graph? The vertex of the graph is 12, 18. And this is another thing that people got wrong. What does this vertex mean? A couple things it could mean. That's when the ball is 18 feet away from Kendall. But most importantly, 1218 represents where her friend stands, which was Jasmine. Represents where Jasmine is. So 2 different things that I accepted. On to the next page. Same thing here. Julia went hiking. How many miles did she hike? So it's the distance from the mountain top. So she started 15 kilometers. And then over the span of 4 hours, she walked to the top of the mountain, got to the mountaintop, because then she was 0 kilometers away from the top of the mountain. And then she went 15 kilometers back. So here's 15, here's 15, 15 plus 15 is 30. And our last question, number 12, says Julia went hiking. The graph shows Julia's distance from the mountain top. So kind of the same thing. Oh, it is the same thing. Now it says, during what time interval is Julia's distance decreasing from the mountain top? So when is her distance going down? So when is that interval decreasing? It's right here. You have a negative slope. Okay. And what some people did wrong here, because this distance decreases and decreases and decreases. Now we're only 3 kilometers from the mountaintop. Here you're increasing and getting further from the mountaintop. But a lot of people put 1 less than or equal to time less than or equal to 4. And it makes me kind of wonder what's going on here. Maybe some of you are cheating during this test, because it seems really weird that I would have 5 or 6 kids all say 1 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 4, when really we started over here and this point is at 0. So it's not 1, it's 0. Okay, and some of you were trying to use interval notation, which is over here. Okay, remember brackets include it. So you could also do brackets 0, 4. If interval notation confuses you, don't do it. Okay, this is the easiest way to go, I think. So flew through the quiz there. That's your video for the day. Most of these questions will show up in one form or another on the test, so make sure you know how to do them forward, backward, and upside down. Have a great day.